residential school has had and continues to have devastating effects on my family. And I thank you all for hearing a bit of my story. I'm amazed at how me telling my story here that day, how it's grown to be accepted and celebrated so widely. This morning on the Facebook page, there was a picture of this big bodybuilder with an orange shirt from Italy. So it's like, I didn't have a chance to look for very long. I had to run out the door, but it was, yeah, you know, all the stories. I had to shut the Facebook page down because it just got me going. And I believe this is happening because it's not just my story, it's many people's story, and they can relate. And I thank those of you who have shared with me the different reactions, I guess, to discussing residential schools. I'm the third generation to attend St. Joseph Mission. My grandmother, who turned 95 on Saturday, went for 10 years, and my mother went for 10. And in total, 13 from my grandmother's family went, herself, her 10 children, and her 2 grandchildren. And I was asked, what is my message? What am I trying to say? And I thought about it, and it's out there already. Every child matters. That's one of the 2 important ones. And every child matters, even if they're an adult. And it's just as simple as that. I have 2 grandchildren, Blake, who's 9, and Mason, who's 4. They couldn't be here today. They moved to Kamloops. And I couldn't imagine anyone taking them away and not having anyone to be there to protect them. It just makes me ill to even think about something like that happening. And I used to think that I was not loved. And I'd wallow in my self-pity. But when my grandchildren were born, I realized that I was. How could a grandmother not love her grandchildren? Then I understood that it was because of residential school that she could not show it the way that I needed to be shown. And another message is to remember the theme from May and what's on this monument, remembering, recovering, and reconciling. To remember, I needed to remember so that I may tell my story to feel the feelings required in order to recover. Only then can I have discussions or even think of what reconciliation might mean. This is not just First Nation history, it's all of Canada's history. At the TRC event in Vancouver, I learned that reconciliation is not just for First Nation and white people. It's all of Canada, including the Jewish, Japanese, Chinese. There was a panel there with youth from those groups, and it's then that I realized that we all need to be a part of reconciliation. As I just love Justice Sinclair, the way he can sum things up. There's a DVD that John has of the 4-day event in September for $25, and it's a 2-part DVD. And Justice Sinclair, I think, has about a 5 or 6 minute clip, but one of my favorite was, we need to stop walking into our future backwards. We need to turn around and look to the future. And to me, this means that at some point in time that my family, as well as many others, can look forward to lives where we're not just surviving, but we're thriving. And to close, a bit of why this date was chosen. It was chosen because the children were back in school, and it gave the teachers time to settle in and to plan an activity and to be here. And also at the national event in Vancouver, I heard an elder say that September was crying month, and that made sense. Because the children were taken away end of August, beginning of September. And Orchard Day is an opportunity to keep the discussion happening annually, and it's a open the door to discussion on all aspects of residential school. So I'm humbled and I'm honored that my story can make a difference in Xgat'tem for everyone for being here today. Thank you.